while I loved supporting him and everything that he was doing, I also had so many dreams and goals and aspirations of my own. And I knew I needed something more. I wanted something more for me to feel, my sense of purpose and how I could contribute to the world. It was kind of a hard road because while I gained a lot in that whole journey of traveling and meeting new people and experiencing different cultures and the good things that come along with that, I really lost myself. Like I lost my whole sense of self while we were doing that whole thing.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Mom Does It All. If you're looking for encouragement, empowerment, and uplifting in motherhood and mompreneurship, this is the show for you. I'm your host, Marta Spurk, triplet mom, certified success coach, and all things motivation extraordinaire. In this episode, I'll be talking to Jackie Peterson. She's a fitness coach, a mama, and a wife to a professional athlete. She'll be sharing how she went on to follow her husband's dream, moving all over the world, yet struggled to find her own path and purpose so she could follow her own dreams. We talk about how every time there's a big change in life, whether it be marriage, moving, or a new baby, we go through a time of self-reflection to adjust and find our way. Such a great message. Let's dive in. Hi, Jackie. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear your story and learn from you. So after we talked last, there are so many key points that I want us to cover, so many interesting details about your story that I know many moms are going to be able to relate to. So can we start by hearing about the challenge of finding yourself and your career as the wife of an athlete, a pro athlete, and then after becoming a mom? Can you share a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really long story, but I will start from the beginning for sure. So you can kind of get a full picture of how I kind of found myself as far as a career and being a wife and all of that kind of stuff. So as you guys know, I'm a fitness trainer. I'm also a mom of two now. I'm a wife. And I actually kind of got started in the whole fitness industry by accident. I've been an athlete pretty much my entire life. I played Division I volleyball in college, but I didn't really ever think fitness would be something that I did as a career. My degree is completely unrelated, but it wasn't until actually my husband and I got married it's been 9.5 years now. But it wasn't until we got married that, everything in my life kind of changed in the direction that I thought I was going to go in, completely just flip-flopped. So my husband is a professional athlete, and we moved overseas for his professional basketball career over 9 years ago now. And that's kind of when I first, I found myself diving into fitness a little bit more, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. But just kind of in a nutshell, like my husband and I have been traveling all over the world for his career for the past almost 10 years now. And I mean, we've lived everywhere from Spain to Russia to Israel, and like pretty much everywhere in between. We've lived in 7 different countries over the past 10 years. Wow. And it's been quite an experience, but in the beginning of that journey, like it all sounded very exciting. I was like, this will be a great opportunity for us to, just experience some different cultures, which is really awesome. Yes. But, the whole purpose of us doing that was for him to follow his dreams. Right. And I was totally on board. Right. And I was very excited about that. I truly loved that. I love supporting him in his career. It kind of got to the point where his dream and all of this became my dream. Right. And we were in it together, and, I was supporting him the best that I could. But in the beginning of that journey, it was really hard. Not only was I, moving very, very far away for the first time. Yeah. I couldn't, we didn't have family. We didn't have friends. We were moving to kind of pretty remote locations where a lot of people weren't speaking English and things like that. And so it was just really a soul searching time for me, because while I loved supporting him and everything that he was doing, I also had so many dreams and goals and aspirations of my own. And I knew I needed something more. I wanted something more for me to feel, my sense of purpose and how I could contribute to the world. Yeah. And I feel like everybody kind of feels that way, and everybody has a different story and journey of getting there. Yes. And, it was kind of a hard road because while I gained a lot in that whole journey of traveling and meeting new people and experiencing different cultures and the good things that come along with that, I really lost myself. Like I lost my whole sense of self while we were doing that whole thing. And, at that point in time, online business wasn't a thing. This was like in 2009, 2010. That really wasn't, it just didn't really exist. I mean, it might have, but there was like nobody doing this. So I didn't even know that was an option.
Right.
And so I just tried to find different job opportunities where we were from, I taught English for a couple of years while we were overseas. But it was really difficult to find a great kind of career building opportunity because, if you can imagine, like we're in a place where most people don't speak English. So trying to find a job that I was really interested in, and I liked teaching English, but it wasn't something that I loved, that I was passionate about, that I felt really purposeful about. And it was just kind of a season of life where that was really the only option. And so just trying to find something that I really wanted to do was nearly impossible. And
when you moved away, you had to find something else.
And exactly. So we would live somewhere for, 9-10 months. And then we would move back to the States and I would try to find a job opportunity here. And it's very hard to find a job opportunity here when you tell someone, well, I'm going to be leaving in, 4 or 5 months. So I kind of just dabbled in a lot of different things. And it was actually during that time in my life, in, the first couple of years of our marriage, that I started to just make my own health and fitness transformation. And I started really focusing on more than just kind of working out. I discovered, how to eat healthy foods, because before that I literally I lived on like mac and cheese and brownies, and we went to the Sonic drive-in. Like we ate terrible. And so I started eating healthy and I started learning about nutrition. I lost some weight and I started just feeling really good and amazing. Like I was in amazing physical shape at that point. And I kind of just wouldn't shut up about it to all my friends and family. And so I just slowly became that, go-to person for health and fitness, and just became extremely interested and immersed in that. And that at that point, it's when I thought, okay, this is something that I really like, that I'm really interested in. And so I started trying to find, how can I make this part of my career path? Like, what can I do? And so I did everything at that point from I coached high school athletes. I started training athletes. I started a little business running boot camps in our community for the months that we were home, and tried to get that, up and running. I worked at a physical therapy clinic for a long time, and I actually did just a bunch of different things, but nothing really ever stuck. It just never really felt right, like something that it never felt purposeful. Right. And then on top of that, I had this commitment to my husband, and we were building his career up and everything like that. And so I felt like I almost couldn't fully commit to anything.
Right.
And so I was just kind of dipping my toe in everything and figuring out what I actually wanted to do, what my actual purpose was. And it wasn't until I was pregnant with my first daughter, she's 4.5 now, that I got introduced to a network marketing company. And I actually, at this time in my life, I didn't even know that I was signing up for a network marketing company. I literally had no idea. But I was kind of desperate at this point. I was like, you know what? I just feel like I want to try something new. And this could be an opportunity for me to do something online. And this is when it was starting to become a little bit more popular, where I could take it with me and I could still travel with my husband and, maybe find something that, scratches that itch and that gives me purpose. And so it was through that experience with being with a network marketing company, which I literally totally had no idea that I was even falling into network marketing or anything. I thought it was like a fitness related thing. And it's an amazing company. And I know you know all about them. Yeah. But it was during that time that I was with that company that I truly, for the first time, felt like I'm in my element. I am learning. I am growing. I'm surrounded by like really cool people who are interested in the same things I'm interested in, who are teaching me, you know, business concepts and new concepts and how to like get out of this little box that I had kind of put myself in for so long. And just, it really just helped me grow so much. And, you know, I just love the whole experience. I loved being able to build a business and watch that grow and, you know, lead other people. And the whole thing was just an awesome journey. And during the whole time, I really just kind of focused on sharing, you know, who I was. I started getting out of my comfort zone as far as like social media goes, because before I started this, you know, I really wasn't even on social media. I didn't share anything on social media other than like some pictures of where we were and where we were living. And so it just really helped me gain so much confidence in myself and just be able to learn how to share my story and lead and everything like that. And so I started sharing, you know, my fit pregnancy and how I was working towards, you know, postpartum goals, and just kind of slowly grew this like really awesome following of like-minded people, which was a really cool experience. And then, you know, I mean, I did really well with that company. I absolutely loved it. I was like in the top 100 of the entire company for a couple of years. And it was a time in my life when I just felt really empowered. I felt really, truly confident and felt like I was in like I had found my purpose. Like this is my purpose, to spread this message of health and fitness and empowering other women. And I just totally fell in love with the business, and just continuing to grow that following and that relationship with other people.
And I love that. Just going back to the whole aspect of you finding yourself even before you had kids, because most of the moms that I talk to, they go through this process after they have kids. But your situation was so unique in that you were following your husband along and fulfilling his dream first. And I know several moms can relate to that, whether, you know, they're married to pro athletes or maybe their husbands are in the military. It's kind of a similar situation of I'm kind of going along and I don't know what my purpose is. And when you're a mom on top of that, it makes it even more challenging, because it's like, then I guess this is it for me. Not that it's bad. And I always like to say that, because there are moms who love being stay-at-home moms and they really find their purpose in that. But there are moms that want to, like you said, scratch that itch and find this purpose. And what I love so much about your story and all these other mompreneurs that come on the show is that it's not a linear journey. You dabble on so many different things until you're like, this is it. I love this. And it's not like you're going to be doing the same thing forever either, but it becomes clearer and clearer with time and with making mistakes along the way, learning, right?
Exactly. And it's like all of those little, you know, toe dips and failures and everything that you tried that was a total disaster. It leads you to the next thing that's the right thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It feels like many detours, but in the end, they were there for a reason, to teach you a lesson and to get you to where you are right now. And Exactly. And with every season of life, that's like constantly changing. And so, like you said, for me, my story might be a little bit different than somebody else's, who maybe you felt like you knew what you were doing maybe before you had kids, and then you lost yourself after you had kids. And I think my story is definitely unique, because I feel like when I had my first baby, I was like, this is life. Like I figured out, like I know my purpose. Like I'm a mom, I'm an entrepreneur. Like I was doing that whole thing. And then I came to another huge milestone in my life, where I actually changed what I was doing. And that was after I had my second baby. We moved overseas when she was, we actually moved home. She was born overseas. And we moved home from there when she was, I think she was 6 or 7 weeks old. And then moved again when she was like 12 weeks old. Back overseas to another country. And so it was just a time in my life where it was complete chaos. And I was trying to run this business. I was trying to, I had a newborn baby. I had a toddler. And, just trying to figure everything out. And so during that time, I was struck with a lot of things that I never had experienced before, like postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety, and just really struggling again with what am I supposed to be doing? It was like kind of coming full circle, like, am I supposed to be working as hard as I am right now when I have this brand new baby and I'm going through something is not right with me right now. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Oh,
and so it was like another huge life change that made me have to kind of reshift in that season of my life what I was doing.
Yeah.
And that kind of led me to what I'm doing now. And so during that period, I actually ended up shifting my business model and solely started focusing on helping women in postpartum life with health and balance and fitness, and just really started focusing on building my own brand around that topic. Mm-hmm. And so that's actually what I'm pursuing now. And it's just been a huge, huge blessing because it allowed me to still continue to grow a business, but it was kind of more on my own terms, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, totally.
And I could creatively kind of branch out and kind of just focus on building my own brand. And that was just a huge blessing for me at that time because I had gone through a huge new life change. And I felt like I just needed a change to make it all work.
And that's an interesting thing that you bring up, because I think some other mom has mentioned this before, how when you have your second kid or your third kid or whatever, everything changes again. So as if it wasn't enough with, getting married, everything changes. And then if you're moving all over, everything changes when you have your first baby. And then obviously I don't have that experience. I don't know if I will have because I had all three at the same time. But it's just how it is, right? You're not going to have the same thing forever. That's just what we were saying. It goes with the seasons in your life. And then starting this new business it was similar, but different for you, focusing on these new moms, had everything to do with what you were going through as well. So you could coach them through that. So tell us a little bit more about what you focus on right now with your business that is very unique and on your own terms, like what you said.
Yeah, exactly. So right now I'm really focusing on helping women in the first couple of years of postpartum life to just regain confidence, to overcome hormone imbalances, to get stronger, and really just build simplicity and balance in their life. Mm-hmm. And I've been doing that through creating online courses and programs for women.
Nice.
That are completely original programs. And I'm just really passionate about empowering women to become, and specifically moms, to become the best version of themselves by honoring the season of life that they're in right now.
Ooh, that's so powerful. I love it.
Yeah. So that's definitely just something that was on my heart after, I think we go through certain experiences in our lives. Like I feel like I was meant to build up that network marketing business for a specific reason, because I needed to grow. I needed to change myself. I needed to grow in leadership. I needed to grow in finding myself. And then I went through the experience with my second baby, as far as like the postpartum depression, everything like that goes, so that I could reach that specific mom. And so it all kind of just like came full circle. You go through those challenges, you go through the highs and you go through the lows, all for a specific reason. And it brings you to, the next point in your life.
Yes. And I can so relate to that as well. And I feel like, especially in this entrepreneurial journey, sometimes you feel insecure when you stop something and you start doing something else. I feel a lot is because you're afraid that people might think, what are you doing now? Why are you changing? Did that not work? Are you failing? And sometimes people are not even thinking that. It's just in your head because you're afraid of changing everything. But you have to, like what you said, honor the season that you're going through, really get in touch with your feelings and what's going on in your life so that you can really feel fulfilled and then help the people and reach the people that you're supposed to help. I love it.
Totally. And I think everything's brought to you in certain seasons, like, just totally for a reason.
Yes.
And it's okay to it's okay if your passions change.
Yes.
It's okay if like something that you go through in your life makes you more passionate about something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so being okay with like just kind of rolling with that change. I know you said it's challenging because you're like, well, what are other people thinking? And I definitely thought the same things, like, well, what if people think this or what if people think that? But at the end of the day, like, you have to live with you.
Yes.
And if you are not feeling as excited or fulfilled in what you were doing, like, you have to give yourself permission to try something else.
Yeah.
And know that like that experience was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was put there in your life for a reason, but maybe it's stepping stone to something even greater.
Yes. Just the start of something else, or that
Totally.
shift to put you on this other path, but not necessarily what you're going to be doing forever.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. So what is your one piece of advice for moms that might be going through a similar situation, like what you were saying in relation like to your spouse, or just the whole thing of, postpartum depression, finding yourself, like, what can you tell this mom?
Yeah. Well, first off, to the mom who is looking for, just finding purpose and finding like, what is my calling? If you've lost yourself,
Mm-hmm.
I think my message would be just keep searching, like keep listening for that voice that is telling you you're meant to do something more, because there is something more out there for you, but it's going to take you trying and failing and just taking some risks to figure out what it is. Don't give up on yourself. Don't ever give up searching for what like you were made to do, because and there's a message inside of you that you were meant to share. Mm-hmm. And if you feel that calling, you have to just keep going for it, because God's plan for you is so much greater than you even know right now.
Right. Yeah. I read something the other day that says your dreams were put in you for a reason, right?
Yeah,
you have these things going in your head for a reason, mm-hmm. to help someone to feel fulfilled. So don't ignore them. And another thing that you said that I have been talking a lot about as well and thinking about is don't give up on yourself. And I feel like that is such an important point for moms, because we have this, ability to be so selfless. Like, it is part of who we are. But at the end of the day, just like what we said, we are all we have, right? We're not going to, you can only take yourself anywhere, right? So you have to live with yourself. So you have to remember all these things and follow your dreams, whatever they may be. Keep searching, keep trying, even if that means failing. I love that.
Yes, totally. I love that you said that. Like those interests are put there in your head or your heart for a reason.
Yes.
And I've heard this before, but somebody said like, God doesn't waste the talent or
mm-hmm.
an interest. Like, if you are interested in something, or if you have a desire to learn more about something, it's not there just for you to keep to yourself. Like, you're supposed to spread that, like, you're supposed to share that talent and interest with somebody else.
Yes.
And so don't be afraid. Don't feel like, you have to hold that in, or like you can't do anything with that. Like, you should be doing something with
and
that.
Especially because you're a mom, right? Oh, I can't do that because now this is who I am. That's my purpose. But there's more outside of that too, if you want there to be.
Totally.
So what are some of the resources that you have available? How can some ladies that are new moms reach out to you and connect with you?
Yeah, so you can definitely find me, obviously, on social media. I'm on Instagram at Jackie Peterson Fitness, and on Facebook, Jackie Peterson Fitness. And then I do have a couple of freebies. So a lot of what I do is working, like I said, with a lot of new postpartum moms. So I actually have a free meal guide for breastfeeding moms.
Okay.
And you can, I'll give you the link for that. But you can also go to my Instagram bio and click the free meal guide there.
Okay.
And then I also have a free 3-day challenge for moms, and it, daily workouts, you get a nutrition plan with that as well. And, just coaching and support from me. So that is another freebie that you can check out.
That's awesome. Well, I really, really enjoyed our chat. Even the first time that we talked to each other, it was so insightful, especially because we have a lot in common. So thank you so much. This is great.
Thank you. I'm so glad we got to do this.
I am so happy you got to join us today and tune in. If you love this episode, you have to share. Take a screenshot, post it on your social media, and tag me and Jackie. Let's spread this message so more mamas can listen and be inspired. Connect with Jackie through the links on the show notes and message me your takeaways. Until next time, bye.